Martell Holt is the kind of man who always finds himself in the middle of a storm, even when he swears he's just trying to live his life. Whether he's celebrating his kids' wins, defending his name, or clapping back at critics, somehow his every move becomes a talking point online. And this time, it all started with something simple: a proud father sharing pictures of his children. Martell posted sweet moments of Mariah and Malia after their tennis tournament wins. The girls looked radiant, full of pride, and you could tell from the smiles on his face that he was genuinely proud. It was a pure fatherhood moment, one of those instances that make people pause and say, "Okay, that's nice to see." But in true social media fashion, peace never lasts long. What should have been a simple post of joy quickly turned into a public debate. The moment those photos hit Instagram, the comments started rolling in. Some people congratulated the girls and praised Martell for being a present father, while others couldn't help but stir the pot. One fan asked whether Martell was really paying for those tennis lessons or if this was just another attempt to look good in front of the cameras. That one comment lit a spark, and Martell didn't hold back. He jumped right into the comment section with a fiery response, making it clear that he wasn't here to play games. He wrote that he pays for everything: the private lessons, the tournaments, the tennis club, and then told the commenter to get your ass on somewhere. It was a raw and emotional response, one that showed how tired Martell is of people questioning his role as a father. For years, Martell has been labeled, judged, and dragged across social media for his mistakes and the public fallout of his marriage to Melody Shari. So this latest moment wasn't just about tennis lessons. It was about everything that has built up over time: the divorce, the custody battle, the co-parenting drama, and the never-ending public scrutiny. Martell's name has been tied to controversy for so long that even when he tries to do something simple, it gets turned into a bigger issue. But this time, he clearly felt pushed too far. The man was tired of being painted as the villain, so when someone questioned his effort and contribution, he couldn't stay quiet. If you've followed Love and Marriage Huntsville for any amount of time, you know that the tension between Martell and Melody didn't end when their marriage did. Their relationship has been a roller coaster, full of love, betrayal, heartbreak, and eventually public confrontation. The divorce didn't just split a family, it created two public figures constantly under the microscope. Fans analyze everything they do: who they're dating, what they post, what they wear, and even how they parent. And that's what makes situations like this so explosive. When Martell posted those tennis photos, he wasn't just a proud dad. He was a man trying to show that he's involved, that he's active, that he's present. But no matter what he does, the internet has a way of turning his moments into drama. Now, let's be real for a second. Martell hasn't always made the best choices. His history with Melody, the cheating, the public arguments, and the fallout with Ariane Curry have all made him one of the most talked about reality TV figures. But one thing that's always been clear, even to his critics, is that he loves his children. He's constantly shown up for them, whether it's at games, recitals, or school events. Still, social media doesn't forget, and people often let the past overshadow the present. That's why this clapback went viral. It wasn't just about one fan. It was about Martell reclaiming his narrative and reminding people that he's not absent or irresponsible. He's actively involved in his children's lives. The tension around Martell's parenting didn't come out of nowhere. After the divorce, both he and Melody had to navigate co-parenting while living under the public eye. There were court orders, arguments over what could or couldn't be posted online, and plenty of finger-pointing along the way. At one point, Martell said he was the one who wanted to take the kids off social media for privacy reasons. He claimed it was to protect them from public scrutiny, but later accused Melody of violating that boundary by allowing her family or team to post pictures anyway. That dispute ended up in court, where the judge eventually ruled that both parents could post their children again. So when Martell posted those pictures recently, he wasn't breaking any rule. He was simply sharing a proud moment. But because of his history, people couldn't just take it at face value. They had to pick it apart, debate his intentions, and question whether it was genuine or performative. It's almost as if Martell can't win with the public. If he doesn't post, people say he's absent. If he does post, they accuse him of trying to look like a good dad for show. And this time, he clearly had enough of that narrative. His response in the comments wasn't just about defending himself, it was about releasing years of built up frustration. But what makes this entire situation interesting is how it reflects the complicated nature of public parenting. When you're a reality star, every move you make becomes part of a storyline. People form opinions about your family, your decisions, and even your tone online. And for Martell, that pressure has been constant. Since Love and Marriage Huntsville began, fans have seen his best and worst moments. They've watched him fall from grace, face backlash, and slowly try to rebuild. Yet despite his efforts, the audience still splits down the middle. Some see him as a misunderstood man trying to be better, while others still see him as the same person who destroyed his marriage. When Martell clapped back and said, "I pay for everything," it struck a nerve because it wasn't just about tennis. It was about reclaiming a piece of his dignity. He wanted to remind people that he's not just the man they saw arguing on TV. He's a father who shows up and provides. And whether you like him or not, you could feel the truth in his frustration. Because for any parent who's ever been judged or misunderstood, that kind of criticism hits deep. It's not easy to rebuild your image when people keep defining you by your lowest moments. And let's not forget, Martell isn't just dealing with random fans online. He's living under the weight of constant comparisons to Melody. Every time he posts, people bring her up. Every time she posts, people bring him up. It's like they can't exist separately in the public eye. Melody has been glowing lately, focusing on her career, her peace, and her brand. She's been praised for her strength and independence, which she absolutely deserves. But for Martell, that success has sometimes turned into a shadow he can't escape. People constantly measure his actions against hers, and that pressure can be overwhelming. So when someone questions his effort as a father, it doesn't just sting, it reignites every old wound. The truth is, both Martell and Melody are doing what they believe is best for their children. But because their lives are so public, fans often turn it into a competition. Who's the better parent? Who's more stable? Who's more loving? These debates go on endlessly online. And meanwhile, the real focus should be on the children who are caught in the middle. Martell's clapback was messy, sure, but it was also human. It showed a father tired of being painted as the villain, trying to defend his reputation while still figuring out how to navigate fame, co-parenting, and healing. People forget that Martell has always been emotional. He's not the type to filter his feelings or think twice before responding. That's part of what makes him so compelling to watch, but also what gets him into trouble. When someone pushes his buttons, especially about something as personal as his children, he reacts immediately. That emotional honesty is his strength and his downfall. In this case, it made him look defensive, but it also made him relatable to anyone who's ever felt misunderstood. And it's not like the other cast members haven't noticed. Marcel Scott, Letitia Scott, Kimmy Scott, and Maurice Scott have all seen Martell's ups and downs firsthand. They've watched him lose his marriage, struggle with his temper, and try to repair his image. Some of them have even tried to offer advice, telling him to take a breath and handle things more calmly. But if you know Martell, you know that once he's in his feelings, he's not holding back. Still, even his critics on the show admit that when it comes to his kids, he's there. You might not agree with how he goes about it, but you can't deny that he's an active and present father. One of the best examples of that was when he took his daughters to meet Serena Williams at the US Open. That was a special moment, one that showed the bond he has with his children. The smiles on their faces said everything. It wasn't about money or image that day, it was about creating memories. And that's what gets lost in all the noise online. People are so focused on criticizing Martell's past that they overlook the genuine moments he's trying to create for his kids in the present. But of course, the internet doesn't let things go easily. After his comment went viral, people started debating whether he should have responded at all. Some said it was unnecessary, that a confident father doesn't need to prove anything to strangers. Others argued that he had every right to defend himself, especially when his fatherhood was being questioned. The truth probably lies somewhere in between. Martell's response came from a real place, but it also showed that he still struggles with public perception. He wants people to see the good in him, but his quick reactions sometimes overshadow his growth. Behind all the headlines and comments, there's also the influence of family. Martell's mother, Miss Marlene, has seen her son go through everything: the fame, the fallouts, the rebuilding. She's always been vocal about her support, but she's also not afraid to call him out when he's wrong. If anyone understands the balance between pride and accountability, it's her. She knows her son loves his kids deeply, but she also knows he can let his emotions